What's up, demons and demonettes? Tis I, Traxy, a demon, called, and today we are going to be talking about Remomento, a White Shadow. More specifically, like power gain, how to gain power, and all that good stuff. But before we get into it, as always, toss a like and subscribe down below. Now, early on, your levels are going to be what carries you through most content. So you're going to want to focus early on your mnemonics, and maybe you get a good team. You want to level up that team and ascend that team, right? But in order to do that efficiently, you have to level up your Warden level and your Kaleidoscope, right? So one of the things I want to talk about is the how to get Warden points. So you get some doing the daily quest, you'll get some doing the main story. A good way to get a lot of stuff is these side quests and these bonds, right? So say we go here, I have all these heroes that I've unlocked for bonding. I haven't gone to go see them, right? So if we don't, even if we don't do any leveling up of the bond initially, what we can do is we can just go to the hero or mnemonic. If it ever wants to load. Alright, so we just talked to them. So we got a brief conversation here. If you're in, right. So we just hit this quest. And it's just a dialogue. You just talk to them. You don't actually have to do like a quest. And then you can hit skip if you just want to blow through it real quickly. And you're going to see that's going to give you a 200. Now you're going to unlock more of those as you unlock the story. And it's a good way to get some additional Warden points. Another thing you can do is if we go to the map, right? We have all of these side quests, I want to say, and there's various types. These ones are fairly quick. They're just usually run around, maybe kill a few monsters, and maybe find a few items, or just go from point A to point B and go through like a story, right? They're fairly quick, and they give 400. These green ones, these take a bit longer to do. They have a bit more of a story to them, so they're a little long-winded, shall we say, and they give 500. So your better bet is to do the 400 ones, because you can get these done fairly quickly, right? And that's going to level up your Warden level, right? Which is then going to allow us to go here and level up our Kaleidoscope, right? So if we go to the Kaleido and we take a look at this, you're going to see that you need the Warden level here to get this high. So I need to get to 30, and then I can rank up the Kaleidoscope. Why do I want to rank up the Kaleidoscope, right? And that's obvious because what happens is when you go to these dungeons here, so we go, and this is all of your dungeons. I'll call them dungeons. They're not really like a dungeon. They're more like just your daily activities that you do for things such as gear, skill items, XP books, or ascension material to get to the next level, right? So you can see these are locked behind the Kaleido ranks. So we want to get our Kaleido rank up as high as possible to, farm better gear. Because gear does matter. I probably should have invested in my gear a little bit more in the previous story zone. Here, when we go to Rook, when I fought the dragon, because the dragon was fairly tough. And now I'm on the last bit of the story here, and I'm kind of stuck on the boss in this area just because I don't have like enough stats. I don't deal enough damage, right? So one of the things I didn't really pay attention to early on, because a lot of this gear is kind of booty, right? So if we go to gear, you see I have some of this red gear, and we'll talk about how to get that in a little bit. But you can see like the gray gear, it just has some small stats here. We go up to green, they're better. You go up to blue, they get even better. Purple is better, and that's when we start to see extra effects on the gear, right? So you kind of want to start farming when you get to purple. That's why I'm taking a break from the story now, working on getting my Warden level up so I can level up my Kaleidoscope to unlock level 6 in the areas that I have to farm so that I can start farming out some better gear and then use my or resources to level up that gear, right? Because as you can see, we have levels, so you can level up or enhance your gear. So if we go in here and we look at something that I've enhanced, this is the abyssal gear. This is like your end game type gear. We'll say it's the highest rank, right? This is what we want to level up. So you can see we've got this huge attack bonus off of this, and yeah, it's really going to help. You're gonna see a huge spike in damage, right? Now, there's a couple different ways to get this gear, so let's talk about that. First off, you can craft it. So if we were to say go over here back to the temple, we have a blacksmith which you'll unlock through Kaleidoscope. I believe it's like level 3 or 4. You just have to progress the story far enough. It's not going to matter until you get your abyssal shards that you can use, right? So if we go here, we're going to see we can craft the gear. Now, what's going to be nice is you are going to have these pieces. They are going to have a random main stat effects, right? So you can go here, you can select it, and if you have one of these rings, you can just craft that with that, and you don't have to worry about being random and potentially re-rolling. Now you can get a couple of these through the shop or whatever. You can also craft them with 3 of these abyssal shards, right? The big ones here, the essence, not the shards, right? We need the shard for the crafting. So it's 50 to 1. Now there's a couple different ways to get them. All right, so if we go here and we go to back to our notes, we have the it's the abyssal corridor, right? So we can go here and you can see that we get different shards. From here, you get 5 per floor. So, you know, there's 25 or there's 30. So you'll get and it upgrades to 10, so it looks like. So that's good. And then you'll get some of these essence along the way, so that you can get the rings. And then there's like the coin thing. You can use that for a reroll. So you can reroll the stats on the piece of gear if you don't get something you want, right? So if you got that. I haven't done this yet, so I don't know if this gives it. No, this just gives so the other way to get that the shards is through the store. So it's a little bit pay to win here, obviously, because you can just buy the tracked bundle has it, like this one. That's how I was able to craft 4 pieces. I got the 700 bundle, and then there's some more here in oh no, there's none in here. I think you can only really buy it through that one, I want to say. Yeah, because there's none in here. And the weekly equipment. So you could buy this one as well, and that'll give you another 200, 2 immaculate seals. So you can buy the power, which is a little I don't know, but it definitely helps out. That's why if like I was struggling in PvP and everybody was doing more damage, it was probably because of their gear. Right, so that's another way to get power, is you can just craft those pieces. So if you're spending a little bit, you could do this. You can get that powerful gear and level it up real quick. Now, as for the gear itself, you're gonna have different things on different pieces, right? So because I didn't have enough rings to guarantee it, I didn't craft the other random piece, and I wanted to get a couple different pieces for different Nemonics, right? So I could get this here, which gave me this huge attack bonus, but you'll notice that they have speed on here as well, which is huge for PvP and PvE, but it did mess with my speed sync, so you have to be careful of that. You may have to spread out your pieces if you get a lot of speed on your sets. So I just went with basically, okay, well, I could do 2 fixed random. I had 2 rings, so I crafted, say, like 2 legs, and I put them on my heavier damaging type Nemonics, right? So I get the bigger bonus off of that, right? So we get this huge bonus that spikes our attack power, which is really great. It like almost, I want to say, doubled her damage. It's crazy how hard Sesha hits now. It still can't get me through what I need to get through, so maybe I need another 10 levels to ascend her, but I want to obviously need those materials to ascend her, so I want to get my Kaleidoscope level up to more efficiently farm that and gain more power. All right, another thing you can get power from is your Nemonics. I got this one through the battle pass. You can enhance and level up these and ascend these as well, right? So we could just always just dump more into here. They do get expensive, and you do kind of get like, so it's like diminishing returns type thing, but yellow is the best, that at least that I've seen, that you can get. This one's a really good. So then you can see we upgrade our attack power by 15, but it's gonna have a bigger effect. We're actually gonna get more like 20 something attack power out of it here because of the percentages, and you can see we're faster, so that's gonna help. We have a higher crit, all that good stuff. So yeah, you can level up your mementos. I wouldn't worry too much about the blue ones, because you are going to get a ton of blue ones. My issue here is I don't have a good weakening, any of these good weakening mementos, so I haven't really been like investing in my mementos on some of my other heroes, because again, it's only like 5%. Okay, but there's better ones out there. There's purple and there's yellow, so we want yellow there, right? So the basic track obviously is you want to get your, I would say, levels, then try to farm out some of the purple gear, which is what I'm going to do next. If you can, craft some of the red gear. If you do need to level up gear, go for your items with a percentage bonus, right? So see, this has a percentage attack, right? So I'm going to get more if I level up this piece, right? So say I go to enhance, you get some material to level it, right? So that's going to give me a 1.5% increase to my attack stat. So I had 656 before, right? So obviously I don't want to waste too much on this, but I'll just do it for the video. So it gave me about 4 more attack by leveling it up. So that means I'm going to hit harder. Again, you get the same thing out of your defensive stats, right? So you upgrade this, okay, and now you're gonna have more HP. You upgrade this, you're gonna have a more defense. You upgrade this, obviously this would be a good one to upgrade, because then again we would get the percentage increase on the HP. Right now, I wouldn't necessarily, if I was going to craft this, chest piece is a random piece, so you could fix it and you could make it attack for an attacker, effect hit for a weakener. Something you want to use there is just kind of like a gear that stat toward that hero, right? So again, just to kind of recap everything really quickly, what you want to do early on is just focus on levels and ascensions. Don't forget about your remomentos, and then when you get to the point where you can start farming these in a better quantity, you can start to farm out the awakening shards, right? Or the materials here, to start filling these out as well for an extra bonus. You can also do these all at any time as needed if you need a little bit of extra power to get through something. And then, like I said, I would get my Kaleidoscope up to about, I think it's 5 or 6, so that we can unlock the difficulty level where we can start to farm the purple gear, because that's when we get those random extra effects on there that do get buffed up when you level up your piece of gear as well. So that's going to help you out a ton. I wouldn't farm gear and really focus on leveling up gear too much until you start to get the purple gear, right? And then mementos, you're just kind of at the luck of RNG of what you pull. These are kind of like your weapons. Again, I wouldn't build too much into the blue ones, because the effects you get out of them aren't that great. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this one, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!